online version of this event. I think it's been a really successful thing to do. I personally very much enjoy the breakout sessions, which are a really good chance to chat to everyone. But I must say, I'm also missing those mornings in all the lovely locations that we used to go to. Very much looking forward to being able to do that again at some point next year, when incredibly, I guess there's going to be a whole year when we haven't had any sort of face-to-face events. So that's amazing. Um, uh, I don't think many people are going to be very sorry to see the end of 2020, which has been one of those years, I think. I did just want to share one of the bright points of 2020 for me, which is that I became a grandmother. My son's son and his wife had a baby back in October, and I managed to see her for a couple of hours the day before lockdown started. So that's, as I say, that's been very much the high point to me. Did also, yes, want to say a few words about Brexit, I'm afraid. Don't disappear, it's not going to last for very long. It's my day job, and it's really sort of hotting up now, as people do begin to plan for what's going to happen on the 31st of December. I would just say, if any of you here are involved in businesses who trade in goods with the EU, then it is time to start thinking about what you're going to do from the 1st of January. Obviously, still loads of uncertainty around, because we don't know whether there will be a free trade agreement or not. But actually, that fact doesn't make that much difference to the preparations that businesses who export and import with the EU need to do. So I just say, have a think about it. Don't be put off by the uncertainty, because any planning you can do will help come the 1st of January. So that's the end of my Brexit bit. Hope you all have a great morning. I'm very much looking forward to Alison's session later. I mean, I think being connected online has become absolutely critical on a day-to-day basis for all of us. So it'd be really interesting to hear some more thoughts of things we could be thinking about that. And then also, as I say, really love the breakout sessions. That's a great opportunity to chat to people. So looking forward to that too. So I shall hand back to Yasmin to sort out the breakouts. Thank you.
Fab. Thank you, Wendy, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Fantastic news. So that brings us on to the next part of the session then. So I will be splitting you all up. You'll all go off into different rooms, and then you'll spend about 5 minutes in those rooms, and you'll have around 1 minute each to introduce yourself, tell people about your business, share anything you'd like to with the group. You know, what are your challenges in lockdown? What are the positives? So just catch up that way. Then I'll be bringing you all back, mixing you all up, and you'll be back out again to meet different people. So bear with me just one moment, just while I put you in.
Everybody here today. We had some very quick chats in our breakout room, so thank you for that. It's great listening to everybody's stories. I'm Alison Holmes. I am the networking coach. So what I do is I help business owners and employees to understand your route to market through networking. It's not all about sales, although most people go networking for sales. It's about building and growing a know, like, trusted community around you. So, and I've got a background in lots of different things, in recruitment as well, and I'm licensed and trained to deliver disc profiling. So I was thinking about the top tips for keeping connected, and you know, everybody's got their own ways of doing it, so hopefully you might be able to have one takeaway from what I'm going to say today. So when it comes to humans, you know, we have evolved from tribes, and meaningful contact does remain at the core of kind of our emotional and psychological well-being. So actually, you know, when we were chatting in the breakout rooms about keeping connected, it's way more than just keeping connected from a sales point of view or a customer relationship point of view. It's kind of keeping connected for our own sanity's sake as well, really, isn't it? And coming at it from a disc profiling point of view, all our core behaviors are slightly different. Some people find change need a lot of time to develop and grow into change, and they need a bit of a build up to get there. Some people who you'll find in the office who are the life and soul of the party, and they draw their energy, they draw their whole being on being in the office environment. You know, they organize the office parties. They're the ones that are hub of everything. Now they're really going to be struggling working from home. And you may or you may not have experienced this in your own teams or whatever, you know, whoever you work with. The introverts out there are loving the Zoom, because actually they really didn't like the office banter because it got on their nerves. It was a waste of chat. They really couldn't be doing with getting in with all the dramas and the politics going on. So actually I'm finding that these people are really enjoying actually being at home, but they still need that interaction. So kind of my first top tip is from a keeping connected with your clients or your potential clients or things like that, is when you go networking, we meet everybody, don't we? And we've had a lovely time, and then we go away with the delegate sheet, and then we're really busy and don't really do much with it. Well, that's my experience of the clients that I've been coaching. And that was me. Let me tell you, I hated networking when I first started, and I really, really didn't see the point of it. But then I learned, and I try and help people from the mistakes that I made. So what I would encourage you to do, keeping connected, is book one-to-ones with people that you may have met through networking, or you may have met somewhere along the line. And just for no other reason, just say, why don't we have a one-to-one, half an hour? You can do it in half an hour, 45 minutes. But actually, because you may have a preconceived idea of their business and what they do, but actually the last 9 months, things may have changed. Their business, I hate this word, may have pivoted. What they're getting involved in may have changed quite a bit. So no preconceived ideas here, because actually they could be a really good connection for you. They could actually turn out to be somebody you could collaborate with, or actually they could be such a good person that you could refer on or tell your clients about. So this is all about building up your knowledge of the people that you and your community with, and sharing what they do with other people in your community. And I mean, I know we're on a women's business forum here, and we've got Paul. It doesn't mean we can't have men here. So it's lovely to see Paul here today. And I don't mean this from a sexist point of view, but women are really good at connecting and sharing. And I know you are as well, Paul, because I have experienced it. But we're really good at connecting and sharing. So actually reaching out to people, and this has happened to me as well. You know, I've had my ups and downs during COVID, like everybody else, you know, having my own business and, you know, things all going on hold in March, which I wasn't planning for. And actually some people in my networking community reached out to me and said, I haven't seen you for a while, because I'm always networking. And actually I was going for a bit, I don't mind sharing, I was going through a bit of a low point. And actually I really, really valued somebody reaching out to me. So keep connected with people. If you haven't seen people for a while and you know that they're a regular network or something like that, why don't you reach out to them? Just say, how's business going for you? How are you getting on during COVID? And actually, it doesn't have to be negative. What have you learned and what opportunities have come your way through COVID? So it's a really good conversation starter for you. Obviously trying to keep it positive, but actually that's another good way to keep in contact with your networking community, but also your clients. Because if you're not keeping connected with them, things may have changed in their world. Other suppliers might come along who are perceived to be a bit more with the COVID times. And actually, if you've lost connection, then you could be missing opportunities as well. And it's really important, I think, isn't it, to reach out to people at the moment, because we're all very good, aren't we? Oh, yes, I'm fine. Oh, business is amazing. But actually, it's not always, is it? Because we just put on that face and we're British and we're women and we can do it. But actually, a little bit of a reach out in between is really important. The other thing I think is really important, and you're probably already doing this anyway, so please forgive me, is, keeping connected on LinkedIn. Don't just comment or don't just put a thumbs up. Actually really have a look at what somebody's doing in their business, because I've posted a few things and my son puts a thumbs up. I said, oh, did you read that article? He's like, no, I didn't have time. I just put a thumbs up. I was like, oh, great. Does that mean nobody reads the article and everybody puts a thumbs up because they're too busy? So be strategic with your time, but actually if there's somebody in your network, your community or your suppliers, actually take the time to read what they've posted, because there could be some really invaluable information in there which may not be relevant specifically for you, but you could share that information authentically and genuinely to one of your clients or somebody in your networking community. So this is not rocket science. I'm not reinventing the wheel here. I'm just trying to reaffirm what we may be doing well and maybe what we could improve on. So I would actively engage in LinkedIn as well. I mean, I know we've got social media experts in the room, but it's really important as well to keep connected through that. And then the other thing that I get involved in is WhatsApp groups. I don't know how many you guys have got, but I think I've got about 12 WhatsApp groups on the go. But actually, I find there's more interaction through a WhatsApp group, and people are happier to share and chat on a quick basis on a WhatsApp group. And they're professional groups that I'm in, but actually it's really quick and easy to share a great photo. You know, I went out for a quick run this morning, look at the sunrise, here's a quick photo. It's still professional, but you're just giving a little bit of insight. And I know Facebook does that, but actually, do you know what? A WhatsApp group for teams in the office and things like that is really important, I think, as well. As long as you've got the right protocol and, you know, all of the GDPR stuff going on behind the scenes. That is not my strength, the GDPR, but we have experts here for that as well. And I think kind of my final thing, because I know I'm coming up to time, is if you do work in teams, is having those coffee breakout rooms. So maybe a designated time. I've heard a few businesses doing this. So 10 o'clock on a Wednesday and a Friday morning, we all just jump on and have 15 minutes. Hi, what biscuits have you got today? Just something, it may be small and meaningless, but it's really important to keep us connected with our fellow team members, because it's really easy, like some people have said today, our hours are really long because we cram so much in on Zoom, on Teams, because we're not traveling. When we were traveling in between, we would have time to process the information. You know, we could de-stress in the car if it was stressy, or stress if it's the traffic. I don't miss the traffic, but actually we're going from one Zoom to another, and you know, we get Zoom fatigue. So actually just having an online chat or even a phone call where you can actually walk around your house or walk up and down the road on a phone call, which is a bit of a novelty these days, but actually it's really important just to keep in touch with each other, just to keep those connections. And a coffee chat, people open up a little bit more on a coffee chat. So yeah, so those are my top tips. Have your one-to-ones, reconnect with people because their businesses could have pivoted and you could be missing an opportunity. Reach out to somebody you haven't seen for a while and you think that's a bit unusual. Where have they gone? Because they could be struggling, and your one phone call or chat or message could make the difference to them getting better or connecting them. Learn and share. So wherever you're learning on these forums, webinars, wherever you are, whatever you're learning, use that as a tool to reconnect with people or share that information with your clients, because it's great because you're keeping connected without selling. There's a whole other talk on that, and it's adding value to them as well. So those are my top tips on keeping connected in a virtual world. I hope that's helped. One of them may have helped you today, and thank you, Yasmin, for inviting me, and thank you for your time, everybody.
Thank you, Alison. Has anyone got any questions in the meantime? Thanks, Alison, for sharing your knowledge and experience with the group. I hope everyone found that useful. If you haven't got any questions at the moment, Alison's details will be on the delegate list. Just some really nice comments there, Alison, for you to read through. If there are any questions, we'll come back to them at the end, if that's okay. So for the last part of the session, as I said, we usually have Emma White from Real Life Coaching, who joins us to do the goal setting part. I'm sure many of you have met her before if you've been to one of these forums. She has prepped some questions for me, which has been very useful. So for this part, you will need a pen and paper, or if not, you can do it in your head, that's fine. So This exercise is goal setting, so we'll be setting some goals for the next time we meet, which is the 11th of February, 10 till 11, and it's on Zoom at the moment, but if it does go face to face, of course, I will let you all know. So to start with, we have got a series of questions which I'm going to ask, and it's going to make you think quite deeply. So here we are. What makes you and your business stand out? Okay, what makes you and your business stand out? I'm going to give you 30 seconds for each question, roughly. Okay. Next question. How do your customers improve as a result of doing business with you? Just going to repeat that one. So, how do your customers improve as a result of doing business with you? Okay, next question. What do your customers really need over the next 3 years? Okay, I'm just going to read that one again. So what do your customers really need over the next 3 years? Okay, next question then. Do tell me if I'm going a little bit fast or a little bit slow. I'm trying to pace it the right amount, so do let me know. How do you communicate to your customers, and is this effective? I'm just going to read that one again. How do you communicate to your customers, and is this effective? Okay, next question. Are your top customers spending as much money with you as they possibly could? I'll just read that one again then. So, are your top customers spending as much money with you as they possibly could? Okay, next question. How effective are you at converting leads? Question again then. So, how effective are you at converting leads? Okay, next question. What opportunities are staring you in the face which you are not seeing or taking advantage of? Okay, I'll read that one again then. So, what opportunities are staring at you in the face which you are not seeing or taking advantage of? Okay, what have you been putting off? What have you been putting off? Okay, next question. How do you make sure your time is productive? How do you make sure your time is productive? Okay, next question. How do you prioritize? How do you prioritize? Next question. How do you switch off? How do you switch off? Got the last couple of questions now. Okay. What do you do outside of the business that is purely for you? What do you do outside of the business that is purely for you? Okay, last couple of questions. How effective are your work-home boundaries? How effective are your work-home boundaries? Okay, and last question. What 3 things could you do before the next Women's Business Forum that would propel your business forward more than anything else? So that's by the 11th of February, our next meetup is. Just read that one again then. So what 3 things could you do before the next Women's Business Forum that would propel your business forward more than anything else? This last few seconds. Okay, I hope that's all given you a little bit of motivation towards the next meeting. So that's in 2 months' time. So I hope you've all enjoyed that. I haven't done it as Emma could, and hopefully she will be joining us at the next one. But I hope you've all found that quite useful. Well, thanks, Wendy. Okay, so that really brings us to the end of the event today. Just some upcoming events that I just wanted to promote while I've got a chance to. So next week, we've got brand audit for the new environment with V8 Media, who are actually here today. Hello, Claire. So that's next Wednesday, the 25th, 12 till 1 p.m. Then next Thursday, lunchtime, we've got our networking session and we've got our guest speaker, and that's how consumer and shopper behaviour has changed due to COVID-19. And so that's next Thursday, the 26th, 12 till 1. And then my last plea for today, if you haven't already, please fill out our quarterly economic survey. It's more important than ever. So the data that we collect from this gets fed back to the British Chamber of Commerce to lobby government. So it's really important that we get that filled out. We want as many responses as possible. We've currently got 400, which is really good, and our target's 500. So I will send a link on the follow-up email, but if you could kindly fill that out for us, that would be fantastic. Also, by taking part, you'll be entered into a draw to win a fantastic hamper from Hereford Deli. So all local produce in there, and that's worth £110. So if you could fill that in, that would be fantastic. Last few words from me then. Thank you so much to Wendy and Emily for continually supporting this event. It's been really successful today. It's been our greatest numbers ever, which we're really happy about. So thank you all for joining, and thank you to their support. And of course, thank you to Alison for sharing your top tips. I hope everyone's found that useful. I hope you have a wonderful day. If I don't see you before Christmas, have a lovely time, and I will see you soon, hopefully. Thanks, everyone. Take care of yourself. Bye.